Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, hi parents, welcome to our today's MCA webinar. And for today's webinar, we're gonna talk about how to prepare for the MCA in the fall semester, and it's gonna be a fall prep launch event. Okay. So first of all, let me briefly introduce myself. And my name is Ranson, Ranson, and I'm right now an MC8 sprint coach, and I'm also primary school ACE coach. So if you are in our long-term class, you may know that the ACE is actually the highest level of each grade. So I'm right now doing the grade 4 ACE teaching. And also, I have taught more than 1,500 American MCA candidates. That's because I not only teach the long-term classes students, and also I teach some of the sprint class like honor roll or distinguished honor roll camp. So that means I know about MCA pretty much. So if you have any questions later, like I said, you are more than welcome to comments in the chat box, and I will also help you to solve those questions regarding preparation or the question or module tips. And in the 2025, which is the MCA this year, I have like more than 50 students in the fourth grader along won awards and including more than 20 honor roll and the distinguished honor. And be careful, this is actually all of them are fourth graders. So you can see it's not very easy for the fourth grader to get honor roll or even distinguished honor roll. Okay. So that's a brief introduction about myself. And let's dive right into our today's webinar. First of all, before we go ahead to talk about how to prepare for the MCA, let's actually have an MCA overview to know about what is MCA. So first of all, MCA is the American Mathematics Competition 8, which means it's for the grade A and the below. Okay, so for the eligibility, you can just see that it requires the students to be grade A and below, and also it has to be under 14.5 years old. Okay. And for the MCA, the total number of questions is 25 multiple choices, and each question has 1 point. And you can see that in total, you will have 40 minutes to finish those all of the 25 questions. And can someone type in chat box like on average for every question, I'm just gonna have how many minutes to solve it? Anyone knows? You can type in chat box on average how many um how long do I have? How many minutes do I have to finish each of the question? No? Okay. So that's roughly like 1.6 minutes. Yes, 40 divided by 25. Yeah, it's an easy calculation, right? So which means you can see that during our daily practice, you can go ahead to test your students to see if they can finish a hard question within one like less than 2 minutes. Okay. So which means this is the um a type of like competition where require you to be as more efficient as possible because you have limited time. So which means in your daily practice, you have to do the timed practice so that the students can get used to this pace. Okay. So for the scoring, it's maximum 25 points, 1 point for each correct answer, and no any penalty for blank or incorrect answers. So this is a lot different from the MC 10 or 12, because for MC 10 or 12, if you leave it blank, you're gonna get some basic points. If you got it wrong, you actually gotta have the points deducted. Okay, so in total, with regard to the words, we actually have three different types of words. It's first of all, we have the achievement role. Achievement role is for the students who are in grade 6 and below who scores more than 15 points. Okay, 15 points. Um, for the honor roll, which ranks as the national or actually worldwide top 5%, and the benchmark or the actually the cutoff is a little bit different over the years. Usually it's among 17 to 19. Okay, so the highest so far we observed is actually 19. So if you got 19 or above, you are generally safe or secured honor roll. Okay, so for distinguished honor roll is the top 1%. Okay, and again, the cutoff is, varies from year to year. So right now, from what we observed, the cutoff could be ranged from 20 to 22. Okay, so which means if you get 22 or above, you can definitely secure a distinguished honor roll. Okay, and later I'm also gonna talk about different like students with different grades. Their goal should be set to like which one specifically. Those are the things I'm gonna talk about later. Okay, so for our today's webinar, we're actually gonna answer some of the frequently asked questions from our parents so that it can better help you to prepare for the MCA. So some of the frequently asked questions I know from our parents are can be like summarized into those three different types. First one is what levels of students are suitable to take the MCA? So this is more of like an entry level question where it's probably the first time to prepare for the MCA. And the second one is a lot of students are starting to prepare for the MCA for the first time, but they also realize, oh, we only have 4 months left. Is it still enough time to prepare? Okay. And the third one is, are there any resources that can help to improve their scores quickly? Okay, so for each of the questions, I'm gonna answer this. So first of all, regarding for the first one, what level of students are suitable to take the MCA? So here's my here's my answers. So in order to determine whether your students are suitable to take the MCA, you have to check each of the criteria. First of all, are the upper limit, of course, is grade 8. Okay, if you are go beyond grade 8, of course, you cannot attend the MCA. But there's no any lower limit. So for here, I put grade 4 is because for most of the students, they start to take MCA in grade 4 or grade 5. Okay, so I've also seen some students starting from like grade 1 or even grade 2, they started to take MCA, but that's really rare. Okay, for most of the students, they'll start to take MCA from grade 4 or grade 5. Okay, and before you go and try the MCA for the first time, it would be better for the students to have like a study the ahead of school. So for example, you know some of the basic or pre-algebra, like solving equations or inequalities, you know some of the basic knowledge points. And you also have learned some of the geometry. For example, you know how to calculate the area of circles and basically the circles and also three-dimensional shapes, something like that, okay? And the last one is also very, very important because this is the competition. As a competition, it requires the students to like their consistent like devote into the practice, and it takes time. So at least we require students to open to, or at least not resistant to mathematical thinkings and extension problems. So this one is also very important. Okay, so those are the checklist to determine if your students are suitable to take the MCA or not. Okay. And for the rest of the questions, is it still enough to like prepare right now or any resources? Okay, so right now I can see that most of the students or the parents are facing the problem where they are not sure what's on the test. So you have no idea whether you can take those 3 months to go ahead to prepare or not. And you are not sure about my child's level and where they are right now and how can they better prepare for the MCA? What's the strategy? Okay. And so in conclusion, For the parents or students who have those type of questions, you don't have proper exam preparation strategy. So that's why we're here today to solve each of the questions. So for today, we're gonna talk about the 3 steps, okay? The 3 steps. First of all, in order to get started to prepare for the MCA, you have to set a proper goal, okay? So what is the MCA key challenges and versus the students' level? So you have to match the students' level with the MCA's challenge level so that after setting this proper goal, you know where you are right now, and you know that whether you get a certain score and you won't feel like really disappointed about it, or you won't feel overwhelmed about it. Okay. And the second one is to set a strategy. So with only 4 months left, how to improve efficiently. So this is more of like shortcut, I'd say. But I'm talking about this under one very big scope is that if you want to really improve your score in the long term, you have to like practice daily. Okay, it's actually a long-term plan, not just like a short term you improve and you just merely just practice or do lots of the practices. You can improve that quickly. So this is more like for the students who already have a foundation and then you want to improve, or on the basis of this, you review some of the contents in the MCA, so you can do this. And also the third section, we're going to talk about what the quality prep resources can Think Academy provide for the students. Okay, so let's go ahead to dive right into our today's first topic, which is how can we set the goal? Okay. So first of all, in order to know what goal we should set, we have to know, okay, what's on the MCA test, okay? So here I just basically show you guys some of the real MCA like past paper knowledge point analysis. So I just list out randomly 2 years to let you know that have some sense. So as you can see, basically all of the MCA knowledge points, they can be divided into 6 of the major topics. The major topic, the major topics are like the modules, like the number and operation and geometry, number theory, word problems, and combinatorics, and also the algebra and the sequences. Okay, those are the 6 important modules. And under each of the modules, we have some like subtopics. So for example, in number and operation, we're going to talk about something like exponents, calculations, or you want to use the difference square formula, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes you also have to deal with the ratio and proportion calculations. Okay, so in the geometry, this I'm also gonna talk about this later. This is actually one of the most important module in the MCA. So there we have a broad range of the subtopics under geometry. So whether it's like a folding and a cutting, and the curved geometry like circles and sectors, and the three-dimensional like cylinders or anything like that, and even the most common thing that the geometry will test is actually the curved circle, the curved geometry, like the circle inscribed inside of a square or square inscribed inside a circle, and combining with, for example, the coordinates to test about. So it's very, very comprehensive and integrated. So I would say if you wanna go ahead to get a high score in the MCA, definitely focus on the geometry, okay? Because that's usually the threshold for you to get into the honor roll or distinguished honor roll qualification. Okay. And for the number theory, the most like common one is like your like remainder modulo to talk about the property of the remainders, and also the prime factorization, because a lot of the number theories are based on the prime factorizations. For example, like the number of factor theorem, and you want to find how many how many factors are there for each of the number. So those are all based on the prime factorization. Okay, those are also very important. So like word problems, the journey problems, and the like cost problems, and sometimes actually lots of times the word problems will combine with some of the hard number and operation calculation strategies together to test your like comprehensive skill in math. So the word problems is also very important. Okay, something like the algebra. The algebra, it's really rare for them to directly test you about the algebra directly. That's because it's even though it's a competition, they know that it's for grade A and below. So usually in the American school system, they will teach about the pre-algebra or algebra one starting in like a grade 8. So they barely like solely test about the algebra, but they can be appear like as a combination or as a fusion in some other questions. For some other questions, you can use it without the algebra thinking, but if you know how to solve like an equation or something like that, you're gonna solve that pretty quickly. Okay, so those are what are on the our MCA. So as you can see, those are the knowledge points, not only like in our school content, but also you have to really think beyond that. You have to do more extension practice on the like whatever the math competition, like you can take math kangaroo or some of the math counts or anything like that. You need to do this extension in order to prepare for the MCA. Okay. So some of the knowledge point lists, as you can see here, those are the very important like big topics that like arithmetics, application, the geometry, combinatorics, number theory, statistics, and probability. Oh, I missed the one thing. In under the statistics and probability, there's one very, very important topic, which is called the combination and permutation. So permutation and combination will definitely appear in the MCA. So you haven't already learned permutation combination, definitely go ahead to know about it because that will like appear in every year's MCA test. The last one is the sequence and algebra. So as you can see, even under this, we have some like subtopics, and those are the topics you really need to know in order to like get into a high score or awards in the MCA. Okay, so those are the MCA knowledge points. And a good news for the students who are currently in our long-term class is that our like competition class is actually designed to align with the MCA knowledge point. So as you can see, all of the modules, all of the subtopics, we actually already covered that in our long-term class. But it's not like some other like learning institution that they will, for example, they learn the word problem. They're gonna learn it all at once, like for one semester. So what we're gonna do is we actually build it progressively. So for example, this semester we learned the prime factorization, and next semester we're gonna learn the number of factor theorem using the basics of the prime factorization. So as you can see, each of the module every semester we're gonna learn like 4 to 5 modules of the topics, but each of them is gonna be based on the previous semester. So this is how we help our students to build this progression and finally can get a high score in the MCA. And this is the specific like analysis about the modules. So here I show you the 2024 and 2025, the exam review. So as you can see, the proportion of the number or the type of the modules tested in the MCA, it's very, very obvious. As you can see in the 2025, like I said, geometry is definitely the very like important module in the MCA. In the this year's MCA, actually, I think it's tested at 9 out of 25 questions in the geometry, in MCA are geometry. Okay, so this is definitely the most important module. And the second one is word problem. So every year, it's either geometry or word problem. They are the top one or top two. Okay, so those two module, I would say you have to pay special attention with. Okay, geometry and the word problem. Still here, last year is the word problem ranked at the top one, and geometry ranked at top two. So it's always those two modules that competing who's the top one. So the next one is a little bit like fluctuating. So sometimes it can be number theory, sometimes it can be number and operation, and sometimes it can be even the combinatorics questions in the MCA test. But in conclusion, word problems and geometry are the main focus of the MCA. Okay, so some of the areas like counting probability, combinatorics, number theories, they vary in frequency from year to year. So those are the modules where you have to understand some of the basics, and it's nice to master as many as possible. But for the geometry and word problem, you have to have a comprehensive understanding. Okay, so those are the regarding the MCA, the module wise. And let's also compare what's the compare the school knowledge versus the MCA. Okay, so for some of the MCA questions, that actually comes from the school curriculum. So for example, the percentage word problems, those are covered in the school curriculum. But pay attention, even though it's covered in school curriculum, this is also probably, for example, like grade 5 or grade 6, if you wanted to take the MCA in the grade 4, for example, you also have to study ahead. Okay, otherwise you cannot even solve the first 10 questions in the MCA. Okay, some of the knowledge point or questions, they are like coming from the knowledge point in the school curriculum, but they are not tested like in school. You will never be tested like this. For example, this is the calculation question where you've used the you have to use the calculation strategy like the chain reduction to solve this type of fraction questions. So for this type of question, you will learn like fraction in school, but you will never be tested like this. Okay. So we also have a type of question where it's the hard question. Okay. So the easy question probably it's covered in your school, and the middle level question it's probably covered in school like as a topic, but you never see the variation of that. And the third type of question, which is the difficult level of question that's never taught in school, but you will be tested on the MCA. So for example, you have to deal with the ratio and proportion combining with a similarity model in the geometry. So for this type of question, I would say the school will barely teach you, but this type of question will be the hard questions in the MCA. So I just list out this to give you a sense what's it like in in our MCA. So here I summarize the relationship between the MCA and the school learning is the first of all, the school basics will help you to guarantee the first 5 question, around 5 question. You can get 1 to 7 points if you learned really ahead of school or advanced or you have a very good foundation in the school content. And second, if you want to master the middle part, like 8 to 17 points, either you have to start to learn the competition basics. Like I said, for the MCA's competition basics, you probably have to start to learn the math kangaroo, something like that, or like the math counts, or like a Noistic or something like that. Okay, so that's the competition basics. Or it's the school extension. Okay, so those two, they're actually equivalent because if you want to learn the competition basics, which means are you extending from your school content. So after this, you can probably secure about I would say 12 points. Okay, so if you wanna get awards or you wanna get honor roll or achievement roll or distinguished honor or something like that, you have to do the competition extension to reach to the point where they're never taught in school, but you will like covered by yourself and do constant practice. Okay, so in all, you have to have a very advanced school basics, and also you have to thinking expansion. You have to have this thinking expansion training. Okay, so here I demonstrate a heat map of the MCA question by question score and accuracy. So as you can see, in the first, I would say 6 questions, the accuracy rate is pretty high across the years. So it's all green. It's all about like around 80%. So that's good. Those are the like area where you don't have to worry much about it. You just need to like do the basic calculation and be careful. Okay, be careful. Do not make any like silly mistake, and then you're gonna secure the first 5 questions. And in the middle, where it start to get hard, as you can see, the middle and the hard level, the accuracy rate will brings down to like 10% or like 20%. So it's really, really low. So starting around the like question 10, you have to like pay attention and do more practices, and you even need to like receive certain training regarding this. Okay, so as you can see, those are the 3 score ranges. Okay, in the plateau 1, it's a solid score fundamentals, and they can get it. And in plateau 2, you have to do the school extension and competition thinking. And in the third part, you have to do the self-learning and exploratory abilities in order to like reach to the awards. Okay, and talking about what's the MCA is like, and you also know like some of the rough segments in the MCA. Next, we're going to talk about how to set your preparation goal. Okay, so those are regarding different grade levels. So you can see that for the 4th grader, and this is on the basis that you already have like learned already ahead of school, and also you already have some like extension or the basic competition trainings. So from question 1 to 8, I would say you have to secure 6 out of 8. Okay, and from question 9 to 16, you would like get 4 out of those like questions 6 questions correct. And then in the last part, 17 to 23 questions, you would have 1 of them correct. So the final questions, the 24, 25, usually it's a little bit hard for them to do. So your goal is actually not like spend time on it. You're gonna save a little bit more time in the first, I would say 16 questions. Okay. So for the normal grade 4 students, your total score should be around 11. Okay, but this one is specifically for the students who have some extension or some like competition basics. If we have an ACE students in here, your goal will be to get 15 because you already trained extensively about our MCA 15 question. So I would expect you to get around 13 to 14 questions out of 25 correct. And in the last 10 questions, you should at least get 2 of them correct. Then you can secure achievement roll. So that's for grade 4. And for grade 5, here's listed. Grade 5 is usually for our like students in our normal competition track, the first year to try for the MCA. And your goal will be to get at least the achievement roll in the first time. Okay, so what if some of the parents are saying, oh, I never my student didn't learn any math competition in primary school, and what if I want to enter to prepare for the MCA now starting in middle school? Of course you can. Okay, so in grade 6 and grade 7, if you have never touched any MCA content or any math composition content before, you can also start in grade 6 to first of all learn ahead of school to start to learn pre-algebra. And while in pre-algebra, if your goal is MCA, you can do combining with some of the past MCA first 15 question, and your goal in grade 6 for the first time will also be 15. And this is actually not coming from nowhere. We have like a bunch of students who join us in grade 6, and a lot of them actually get achievement roll or even honor roll in their first try in the MCA. So this is totally possible. Okay, so this is just like a something pop up to my head. So if you already like in our schools in our system in grade 5 you have some like basics in the competition in grade 6 to 7, your goal will be to get the honor roll in the MCA. Okay, normally I would say normally most students will have their last try in the MCA in grade 7. So after grade 7, in grade 8, they're gonna start to prepare for the MC 10. Okay. But here I just list out as a reference if some of students will give you a last shot in the MCA the last year, you can also try. So the last year in grade 8, your goal will be to get distinguished honor roll. Okay, if you keep trying. Okay. So this is the how to set our prep goal. So with this goal in mind, we know, okay, you can just know like which level you are in and what grade or what prep goal. Oh, actually, I'm very curious. Can you type in the chat box which grade are you in right now, so I can know um where to talk about it or how to like shape my the rest of the webinar. Okay, grade 7, 6. Okay, 5, 4. Okay, got it. Okay, it's we actually have a broad range of the students here, but I would say from what I see right now, most of the students are in grade 6 and 7. Okay, all right, no problem. Yeah, so like I said, for grade 6 or 7, if you never like have any math composition or foundation before, you can still get achievement roll in the like first try. If you do, that's great. So you can try to aim for the honor roll in the MCA. Okay. So this is our prep goal. Then with this goal in mind, we have to set a proper strategy. So here comes to the question, how to improve efficiently in the last 4 months. Okay. So talking about the strategy, and because we have limited time, okay. So with regard to the strategy, we have to choose our preparation focus, okay, preparation focus. So for here, to our like a right method here is to have a closed loop preparation, okay, so that you can see how to read. You can see like what material you need to focus on, and then using this material, you can just see do you make any progress, and you're gonna use the stage quiz to test about whether you've make any like progress or not. Okay. So for the prep focus, okay, for the prep focus, you can see that if you're aiming for the 15 points or achievement roll, okay, so you should have studied the basics of all 6 major topics. Okay, like I said, all of the 6 major topics: geometry, word problem, number theory, and combinatorics, and algebra, and statistics and counting, and statistics, including the permutation combination. So if you are aiming for the achievement roll, you should know the basics of all the 6 major topics. Okay. This one, how to do that? One thing to get started is you can, if you have no any idea about our like what's the achievement role is like or something like that, what you can do is you can directly browse the past year paper to look at the 15 questions and to have a sense of what's the difficulty level of the first 15 question is like. And you can also from through the process you are browsing it or even practicing it, you can see, oh, what are the major modules this is gonna focus on. And under each module, you can definitely see there's a certain topic they would like to test you about. So this is a like easy start for you to go ahead. And of course, if you have resources, you can have take some like classes to help you better prepare for the like for the MCA. So in this way, you have like enough resources. You also have like the guidance. You also have the plan in your hands, and this will help you to prepare in a more systematic way. So here I'm just like showing you how a same topic they're actually tested in like different ways so that they have different like difficulty level. So as you can see here, if it's like the same similar the exponents, we're all talking about exponents. If it's the first 10 question, it's just talking about the maximum value with the exponents and digits. And this one is very easy. You just for the students who don't know how to like use it, you can actually do it by listing all of the possibility out because there's no many like combinations. You only have like 2, 0, 2, 3, and you can actually test it out or calculate it out. What's the result? And you can also still get the correct answer. So this is the type of question you can really calculate it out. And if it's the middle level question, it's gonna be a cross module or the cross topic questions. So for here, not only you need to use the like exponents, but also you have to combine with the difference of square trick to solve it. Okay, so as you can see here, it requires you more than one type of method or knowledge point to solve it. And if it's the exponents testing the hard questions, it's really the flexible application of the exponents properties. Okay, so you are gonna solve this problem by converting the exponents and the bases like freely. So you will need to know how to convert them. Okay, so for example, here is 10 to the power of 8, 5 to the power of 12, and 2 to the power of 24. And you look at this, you immediately know that in order to compare them, you either need to make the base the same or you need to make the exponents the same, right? And for here, since the base 2, 5, and 10, most of them are prime numbers. You cannot make them the same. So you have to change the exponents to the same. And the exponent 8, 12, and 24, they actually have the common factor. So where you can take out the common factor to make it like all of them like change the exponent into 4. So under this, you can actually to compare them. So as you can see, throughout this process, you started to analyze this question and you sort of have a try and error method. You firstly want to try to make the basis the same, but you failed. And then you try to make the exponent the same. And after this, while you're working this out, you have to use like how to find the greatest common factor of 10, 12, 24. This is actually the method of the prime factorization. So you can see this is also very cross-topic, cross-module like topics. So it requires comprehensive understanding of the students. Okay, so this is like the same type of topic, but it can be placed in different difficulty levels. Okay, so the next one is the if you want to focus on the honor roll to get the 19 points. So at this time, you really have to get the in-depth study with the focus on each of the specific module. Okay, so for example, for here, you have to identify the high frequency topic. Okay, and for here, for example, I list out some of the high frequency, some of the examples of high frequency topics. For example, the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so Pythagorean theorem appeared like in 11 questions in the past 10 years. So it appears almost every year. So this is where you have to pay special attention with. Okay, so if you wanna get a higher score or like a better words. It's not like you need to merely do the practice. Sometimes you also need to use some strategy. For example, focus on the high frequency questions. Okay. So some other things like the average number, that's also tested 14 times in the past 10 years. So from here, you can see, okay, how important it is. Like, for example, the percentage and ratio word problems. So it's the word problem combining with ratio and percentage and proportions. So this tested 12 times in the past 10 years. So something like this. If you can like access to our resources, we're actually gonna summarize the high frequency questions for you and fuse that into our daily practices or daily classes. But if you cannot, you can also like I'm also gonna tell you how to access to this resource later. Okay. So for the third level is the distinguished honor roll level. You have to focus on the challenging geometry and combinatorics problems because that will be the key of this like um, hardest level of like questions. Okay. So once we clear about the priorities, each of the AR, HR, DHR, you have your own priorities. And now you have to choose the right method. We have to form a great and comprehensive prep loop or preparation loop. Okay. So what are a good preparation loop here? I can demonstrate with you guys. First of all, of course, everything start with learning. So you have to have a knowledge point learning. Okay, either you through the course learning and you or like learn by yourself. You have to clear any knowledge gap in between. Okay, this is definitely the first step. Okay, if there's still any knowledge gap, there's no way you can get a high score in the MCA. Okay, so this is first step. And then you have to start to like dive deeper and more specific to talk about the module topic training. Okay, so for the module topic training, it's the targeted practice, like repeated reinforcement. Like at this time, you're gonna specifically talking about like geometry, word problems, etc., etc. And under each module, you're gonna like specifically knowing about some of the subtopics. And it is from those subtopics you will learn a certain method to solve each type of question. And that's where you are about bump to another level, which is the like honor level. So when you see each certain question, you immediately know, oh, this one, I know it. I know that I need to use difference square to solve it, or I need to use the peak theorem to solve it, etc., etc. Okay, so this is actually build the proficiency like in your skills. Okay, so the third step is you have to constantly review your progress and to see if you make any like a progress throughout this whole process. So this is where the stage assessment. This is something like the mock exams, the performance evaluation, or you can use the past exam as the like assessment to see, oh, did you make any progress? At the beginning of my practice, I can only get 5 out of the 25. And now after this, I can at least finish the first 15 question. I can get like 10 or 12 out of 25. So that's how you track your progress. Okay. And throughout this whole process, uh, from every daily practices, you have to summarize what's the type of question you may mistake easily. And also from the assessment, you have to summarize, oh, this is the type of question or this module I is where the students is weak at. Okay. So for the module top, if it's any certain module, you go back to the module topic training. If you see there's any knowledge point that you never touched before, and you go back to the first step to know about the knowledge point learning. Okay, so this is our learning loop. So after forming this like a learning loop, if you can form by yourself, that's all good. But if you cannot, okay, what are the quality prep resources that Think provide for the students? Okay, so first of all, for the knowledge point learning, right now, Think Academy is providing some like short-term classes for you. Okay, so be careful. This type of short-term classes is actually for you already have like the basics for the first 10 questions. Okay, if you right now you're still struggling to get like a point of A, or you're still at like 5, I would suggest you to go ahead to build a foundation first and not directly jump to our short-term classes. Those short-term classes are for the students who already have like certain basics. Okay, so we have our achievement role short-term classes. This is actually if you have already attend our AR classes in the previous semester, and don't worry about it. This is already fully upgraded, so all the content will be different from the previous year. And the honor roll short-term class, this is like I said, in the deeper part in the module topic training. So we're actually in the honor roll camp. We're focused on the modules, and we're providing you with the targeted solutions. Okay, so here's the more like specific information about our achievement camp and honor roll camp. So for the achievement roll camp, this is for you to master the first 15 questions from the past 10 years. And we're also gonna divide this into 4 different modules: the word problems, geometry, most important too, and also counting and probability, because it covers one very important topic, permutation combination. So that's why we'll also bring it up. And the third one is number theory and combinatorics. Okay, so as you can see here, we have very professional teacher, which is Brian, and he's actually the head of curriculum instruction of upper elementary at Think Academy. So he knows about the MCA system very well. And also the curriculum and instruction is from teacher Xiao Tao. He actually has 10 years of teaching experiences. He's actually the winner of China Mathematics Olympia, which is CMO. So this curriculum is actually designed by him. So this is gonna be very, very helpful for our students. Okay, so if you're interested in our AR camp, you can scan the QR code here. And for the honor roll camp, like I said, again, it's gonna be divided into different like modules. So we have like a geometry class, honor roll class, and we have word problem honor roll class. We have number 3 honor roll class. And this one is a little different from the achievement roll. The achievement roll is one camp focus on like 4 different modules. But for the honor roll camp is actually you have to choose. If you want to focus on the geometry, and you have 4 lessons. You want to focus on the word problems or the algebra, or you have 4 different lessons. Okay, so this is already, they have different like focus. So the teachers are also very, very excellent, like Lexi and Carrie, and they are all like for example, teacher Lexi, she's right now the grade 5 ace coach, so she knows about the whole MCA very, very well. Okay, so for one thing I do want to point out for you is for the honor roll class. For the honor roll class, in order to ensure the learning effect, you actually have to do a registration assessment. Only if you pass the assessment, you can register for the class. Okay, so if you didn't pass the honor roll, we would suggest you to learn the achievement roll first, and then enter the honor roll class. Okay. And there will be any rolling classes in October and November with the new rounds of word problems, geometry, and number theories. Okay, so if you are currently in our achievement MCA honor roll camp, you don't have to register again, because this one they will have some overlap. Okay, so this is the short-term class. So for the module trainings, we also have like some module like books, and we're also gonna talk about for those books, they are like valued at like $20, and we can give them to you like for free. I'm gonna talk about how to access to those resources later. And lastly, we also have like the stage evaluation or assessment. So for the stage assessment, we have like 45. Okay, so here's the thing. If you register for our like short-term class, and you can get those resources for free. And also you can get this $45 mock exam for free. Okay, so for here, if you are not in our short-term class, you can also register for the MCA mock exam or the mock review class. Like you can pay for it. Okay, you can pay for it. This one I think is $45, and you will cover. First of all, we'll give you the mock exam paper, and then you're gonna receive the question first of 10 question detailed video explanation, and for the question 11 to 25, we're gonna have a live class to explain that to you, and then after that, you're gonna have the personalized exam analysis report to you. Okay, so those are what's covered in the like mock exam. So once again, if you enrolled in the short-term class, for each short-term class, you're gonna receive one free mock exam. The mock exam also you can pay to join the mock exam. Okay. So here's like the process. Register for the explanation class, and you can access to the mock exam paper, and then we're gonna have mock exam walkthrough, and you're gonna receive the exam report, and you will receive the live class, and also the live class will be recorded via email. So here's the little summary. You can scan the corresponding QR code to register for our class. And some of the free learning resources that we can provide it to you is right now we actually have a MCA Learning Resources Hub. So you can scan the code to access the MCA Resource Hub. So those include the tailored prepped resources for every stage of the students. You can also get the latest exam updates and information from a webinar or a blog. You can have some regular events to prepare for the MCA step by step. So those are the free learning resources where you can scan the QR code to get it. Okay. So lastly, I'm gonna talk about like the timeline for starting in September to January for the MCA preparation. So starting in September, we're gonna have the probability, statistics, and practice MC registration, and so actually we already started to like the MCA's like official exams registration, and October the number theory practices, and we also have the MC exam trend analysis lecture gonna publish soon, and November we're gonna have like combinatorics and logic practice, and we have the like distinguished honor roll call to action. And December, we'll have the final prep session, and we'll also have a exam strategy and scale lecture. And January, we'll have the last minute prep pass. Okay. So yeah, that's all for our lecture today. And right now, thank you for coming. And right now, I'm just like holding a Q&A session. You can type your question in the chat box, or you can directly raise your hand to let me know any questions that you have regarding the MCA preparation or our any short-term classes or anything like that. Okay. Let's see if our parents have any questions regarding our today's lecture. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we will send out the recording of this session. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Any other questions regarding our today's session? All right.
Hi, I have a question. So what's the process for registering students through Think Academy? Because my kids used to register like separately earlier, never through Think Academy. So can you?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, can I know which city are you in roughly?
Fremont.
Oh, Fremont. Yeah, I think you can come to our Cupertino like learning center to take the exam. I think right now the MCA, the registration has already opened. Okay, so can you let me see, how can you? Okay, so let me browse the like registration link right now, and I will send it directly to the chat box, and then you can just register for it. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so here's the link. So we have a fourth grader. Their steps explain applicable. Most of the concepts seem to more applicable to middle school level. Oh, okay. So first thing I have to make sure is your fourth grader right now um like in the school advancement level, and also did he or her did she or he learn any like math competition knowledge points? Okay. So if they're already in the school advancement class, or like placed in the advanced track in the school, I would suggest them to start to do the first 10 question, or yeah, the first 10 question around that level of the MCA, to see, okay, if there's any knowledge gap for them. Okay. So the first step is for you to like fill the knowledge gap of the first 10 questions. Okay. And then after that, once you like have the first round of the check, and you know the all the knowledge gap, and you can start to move on to the first the question 10 to question 15. Okay. And throughout this whole process, you, like I said, need to attend the mock exams to keep track the students like current ability or something. Okay. Where does my student take the screening test? Um, yeah, I think you can directly like yeah, I think Valeria, yeah, teacher Valeria is already, yeah, when you enroll for the course, you'll get the test link directly. So you can like when you click enroll, and you can get the pop-up, and they will say start test, and you can just click to get started, do the quiz. Yeah, no problem. And for the fourth grader, I'm just like, are you currently in Think Academy? So if you are currently in Think Academy's, like for example, challenge class or ACE class, right now you should be able to finish like around the first 8 to 10 questions. So that's a right track. So then the next step for you is to focus on the question 8 to question 15. So of course this part will be hard for him. Okay. So if you have the determination to like really improve and get awards, and you want to tackle the question 8 to question 15, I would suggest him to like join the achievement role camp as the first step. And but you have to have the expectation that throughout this process, there's definitely gonna be like some hard times, or like it's a little bit challenging for them. You will spend extra hours after class, like every day you probably need to spend an hour or two to do those practice. Yes, because in order to get the words, you're gonna pay extra efforts. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna stay here to see any other questions. Otherwise, we're just gonna call it today. in algebra, does this mean my kid has to do an additional class? Oh, okay. Is your kid in pre-algebra class or algebra 1 class? And also, are they in like the challenge level or the honors level? If your kid is already in MCA class, you don't have to. Okay, Algebra 1. So Algebra 1, is he Algebra 1 challenge? Mm, okay. So in this case, I would suggest if he has or if your kid has a certain like weaknesses in module, I would suggest you to take some of the specific honor roll class, module class. Otherwise, you can just follow us to do some like mock exams to keep track the progress, and at the same time you can do the past year's paper to practice on it. Okay. So yeah, otherwise I would unless there's any certain like module weaknesses, like your kid is not very good at geometry or like word problems, you can take the honor roll like module class. Otherwise, you can just like follow our like mock exam and at the same time do the past year paper on yourself. Okay, so this is my suggestion because Algebra 1 challenge class should be pretty good to take the MCA. All right, so I guess that will be all for like webinar today. Thank you guys for coming to our today's webinar, and hopefully I'm gonna see you soon in the class. Okay, so bye bye everyone. See you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Have a good night. Bye bye.